Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another VOD review. Although this VOD review is going to be slightly different format from the last few videos I've made. This one's going to be a series of 5 quick VOD reviews. Hopefully quick VOD reviews in a row because, as you can see, I went on a rather large tilt spree recently. I went like 1 and 15 for this stretch of games. I wanted to review the last 5 games of this uh, loss streak as a lesson for you guys, as a reminder why you guys should not spam games or tilt queue when you're on a loss streak, when you're tilted. Um, the dangers of, going on a tilt spree. So, um, without further ado, let's get into the games. We're going to start with this game and just go straight down. One, two, three, four, five. I've already looked at these games, so they should go relatively quickly. I just want to look at the big mistakes and show you what can tilt do to your mental. So let's get right into it. All right, Tristana Yumi versus Jin Sona. I remember I was already kind of tilted from Champ Select because I was mad that we picked a Yumi into the Sona. Because Sona is the type of champion that you're supposed to punish early in the game. She's very fragile. But with the Yumi, it's a little tricky to get that done. Because Yumi's also a little bit of a weak early game champion. But it still can be done. All right, level 1. We get a quick auto on the Jin. Avoid the 4th shot. Yumi tanks it for me. Get a nice trade onto the Jin. Alright, that's a great trade. And then I take a 4th shot that does 130 something damage. So that was a pretty bad mistake by me to take that 4th shot. But we've come out on top in this trade. Yumi will give me some sustain. Sona will give the Jin some sustain, but we should be out ahead after that level 1 trade. Oh, and then we end up getting first blood here. Let's see how that happens. So we just jump straight on the Jin with the level 2. He has very little health remaining. Burn his flash. The jungler could be here, and there he is. He shows up, but we have flash, so we're safe. And then we do push out the wave, but it's a cannon. Kind of hard to push it out. Let's see if we can get it on time. Looks like we do. Okay, so we've got a kill. Looking good. Fast forward a little bit. Not too much happening in this. It does look like I took a bad trade. Let's see where that happened. Right here. Let's see. Tried to go in on the Sona. Took quite a bit of damage from the Jin here. So actually not a terrible trade, but Sona will heal it back up. It's better to get damage down on the ADC over the support generally, but in lanes against the Sona, sometimes it's an exception because of how squishy that she is. Sometimes you can just one-shot her first. Um, so this isn't the worst, and especially because we do have Yumi healing. It should be okay. Now here, Wave's not in a great spot. Don't know where Zac is. Yumi looks like she wants to ward that Tri-Brush. Walk over to help her get a ward. She doesn't have a ward for some reason. We get the honey fruit. And then, now Wukong comes over to gank at level 5. This tilted me actually. Yeah, this is kind of annoying. I don't really know why Wukong came, but I kind of compensated because I tried to like take some heavy trades onto the Jin, but they're right outside their tower. Wukong can't do anything at level 5. I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of doing this to like prove to Wukong like, what the heck are you doing here? There's nothing you can do at level 5, you know? So like, stop wasting your time. It kind of baits Yumi to get aggressive, and then she ends up getting CC'd, so she can't reattach to me. Zac gets a kill on her, and we get double killed. And I start pinging in my jungler, but I mean, it is kind of my jungler fault to be like baiting us to go in with his body language at level 5 as a level 5 Wukong, but at the same time, I mean, I shouldn't be doing. I mean, I shouldn't be trying to make it worse. The situation, I've just made the situation worse by taking heavy trades, encouraging the enemy Zac to come. Zac is much more useful at level 5 than a Wukong, um, so this is quite bad. We give kills over to the jungler, to their bot lane, and now it's much harder to punish their bot lane for, the Sona pick. And Zac is doing really well now. So, oh, and then we die here. Let's see how this trade happens. Jhin is level 6. This is a very basic mistake now that I'm tilted. Very, very basic. Jhin is level 6. Should not be trading like this before we get R6. Because I waste the W. Now he can just Jhin ult us and get a double kill. So, pretty terrible. Um, Maybe I'll just look for one more death and see what happens. But I'm already very tilted. Just to So the two big mistakes this game were just, um, trying to force something underneath their tower with the level 5 Wukong, and then not respecting the Jhin level 6. Now here, another classic mistake, hitting tower with no vision in the river against a jungler like Zac. Yeah, we just die for free. This is one of the worst type of deaths that you can have. Hitting tower, and then just dying without them having to burn anything. So, looks like we get double killed here. And I'm spam pinging Wukong, like jungle diff or whatever, but no, I'm just tilted. So, that's enough for this game, I think. Let's move on to the next one. All right, game number two. Game number two, we have Miss Fortune Nautilus versus Tristana Braum. So, if we can proc the Braum stun, then that'll give us a nice little short trade. It's very important just to not get hooked by the Nautilus here. Um, MF Nautilus is kind of annoying to play around because you don't want to stand behind the minions because of Miss Fortune, but then you don't want to stand to the side of the minions because of Nautilus. So a lot of times you just have to be um, respectful and give them their space, let them push, because it's sometimes difficult to play against this particular combination because there's not really a safe place to stand sometimes. But it of course depends on the situation, what cooldowns have been used, etc. Fast forward a little to the lane. Okay. Now here's so in the beginning, level 1, when there's melee minions, usually it's safe enough to stand behind the ranged the casters because um, Miss Fortune, if you didn't know, that her Q does more damage if she kills a minion with a Q and then bounces to you. If it doesn't kill a minion, it does less damage. So if you're standing behind the casters when the melees are up, then you're relatively safe. Like it's not going to be a full damage Q. But once the melees are gone and she starts autoing those ranged casters, it no longer is as safe to be standing behind them. So like once all the melee minions are dead, you need to start giving more respect to the MF, essentially. We did take a good trade onto that Nautilus, but the problem is that in general you don't, I mentioned this last game too, you don't really want to trade onto the support if you can help it, but I didn't lose any HP for it, so it's still a good trade. Supports also have 2 health potions, whereas the ADC only has 1, so it's harder to burn through the support's health pool. Here, gotta be wary of the hook. A little annoyed that my Braum is getting hit by those Qs, but as you can see, the Q doesn't do so much damage if it's off a full health caster. Now here, I just straight up get hooked. Very horrible basic mistake that I would not normally make if I wasn't tilted. That allows Master Yi to clean up. We can't get a kill on the back end. So, I mean, our jungler was even coming. If I had just a little bit of patience, we probably win the 3v3 with everyone at full health. Because Viego versus Master Yi, Viego probably wins that early game. But instead, I just get hooked, don't even uh, use my flash. Yeah, so just a pretty unacceptable mistake. Let's just look at it one more time. I just wanted to get out from behind those minions and get that caster, and then I just walked straight into the Nautilus hook. So this is just what happens, when you spam however many games in a row when you're tilted. Now Viego tries to compensate, get a kill back on this Nautilus, but it's just not enough damage. So wasting even more of my jungler's time. Now everyone's trying to compensate. They send 4 people down here just to get 1 kill onto the support. Completely not worth it. And then looks like Master Yi's even gonna get a extra kill out of this. Yeah, so this just turns into a horrible situation. Master Yi's like 5-0 or something now. The game's already over. There's nothing more to look at in this VOD. So let's just go on to the next one. Okay, game number 3. Looks like we have Tristana Braum versus Jhin Nami. In general, I'm kind of happy with this lane because both of them are pretty squishy and immobile. So Braum landing a Q is pretty much a death sentence once I'm level 2, especially after level 3 with the increased attack speed from the Q. So let's just see how this lane plays out. Alright, so this was an interesting one. I was not able to finish proccing the bomb on the Jhin. Now, this is something I should know, but I actually don't know if I have enough attack speed level 1 with lethal tempo to fully proc a bomb. This is something I definitely need to know to test in the practice tool. I'll definitely do it right after um, this game. But if I had, let's just say, like I knew that it's not possible to proc the bomb, I should not have stayed for the extra auto. I should have just backed off after the stun procced. But I do have a feeling that I can proc the full bomb because I lost quite a bit of time, like walking around the minion wave. My pathing was not great. I should have just walked directly at him at the Jhin. I'm pretty sure I could have procced this bomb. Now, what I was really surprised by was that he had enough movement speed to catch us all the way back to tower. Nami gives him some movement speed and he can get that final fourth shot on me, which turns the trade into a really bad one. I mean, you can even argue that this trade wasn't that good to begin with, like just from the minion damage that I took, that me and Braum took. Did Braum take a tower shot? I think he did. Yeah, he took a tower shot, which isn't great. If Braum didn't take that tower shot, if I backed off before that final auto, this might have been a different story. Or I could even barrier this, to be honest. Just use barrier to get a good trade. Not sure. But yeah, I wouldn't say that this was a huge mistake or anything because I was kind of taken off guard by that how he was able to just run us down with the 4 shot, and I probably should have been able to fully proc the bomb. I'm pretty sure, but I will go test that in the practice tool after this review just to make sure. Because if you can't get that final auto, it's not worth to waste your time with that last auto if it's not going to give you an extra bomb, if it's not going to proc the bomb. But anyway, taking that bad trade puts us in a pretty bad situation because now Nami can just heal them up. In general, with a lane like this, it's not even worth it to take a level 1 trade like that because, you're a lane that wants to all in them and they want trades like that with you because Nami can heal them up. So even if it was a good trade health-wise, they are going to get healed up by the time level 2, level 3 comes around. So, you know, I do think in the end it was just a bad decision fighting into the minion wave level 1 in the first place. We also got zoned off of so many minions. I only have 6 CS now because we put the wave on their side with the level 1 and we just got zoned off of so many CS and all that movement speed from the Jhin and the Nami. We're just getting spaced here. 6 CS at 3.5 minutes. Like really terrible. Can't even get this cannon. Can't walk up to it, or else I'll lose all my health. I was hoping Braum would just hit it with the Q, but he did miss it, unfortunately. Um, Now, okay, it looks like Lee Sin is coming for a gank, so he kind of bails us out here. Um, we do get the kill on Inami. So, but this is totally, you know, coin flip. You're not always going to get a jungler that ganks for you. Now, after the Jhin flashes, this is pretty bad that they keep chasing, but, the best thing I can do is, because TF is coming first before Zoe, and it looks like Wukong is here as well. So this is a 4v3, 4v2 actually. Looks like a 4v2. So sorry, 4v3. So this should be winning for us, but Zoe was a little late, and I just die for this. And look at the wave. Um, Need to have a little bit more patience waiting for Zoe to get there. I'm just gonna lose all this wave, like two fully stacked waves almost. So this is just a horrible situation. And at this point, the game should be lost. They don't necessarily need to tower dive these guys. It's like it's over no matter what. But thankfully, they do kind of end here, give us free kills under tower. Got very lucky that they messed up this tower dive this badly. We are going to get a kill on all three of them on the back end, so very, very lucky that this worked out. But as you can see, I'm still 7 CS at 5 minutes, 8 CS. So like, I mean, I have 2 kills, but I mean, I'm still like essentially behind compared to all the other players in the game right now, even with those 2 kills. And this is all mainly because of that mistake in the river, walking up with not enough health. I don't even think I realized Wukong was there, to be honest. But we did see him in the dragon pit dashing in, and my Braum is out of mana, my Lee has no health, so he's late. I should just realize that this was not going to happen, or just have a little bit more patience, wait for Zoe, try and land a bubble, something like that. But yeah, so that skirmish lose me this wave, like 1.5 waves here, and then another like cannon wave I lose. I do at least get the XP, but I'm not getting any of these minions. So yeah, pretty terrible. I think I'm already in a horrible position at this point, even with the 2 kills. Now TF ends up swapping bot lane, and to be honest, I'm not really sure, because Jhin went mid. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go like swap with Zoe or what. Um, I do think it's just as suboptimal for them for TF to be here, but I should also realize I can't be aggressive into a level and like a TF who has more levels than me compared to a Jhin. So there was some instances like I think I got over aggressive here. We do end up getting this TF with the Lee Sin gank. Yeah, we do get the kill, I think. In the end, I think the lane swap for them is just a suboptimal, because you want the TF to be getting the levels as the mage. You want Jhin to be getting the gold. Um, I'm not sure like what's the Zoe Jhin matchup like in mid lane, but we don't necessarily need to swap. We can just keep farming. Missing a cannon, just missing CS, not good. Especially with how bad of an early game that we had. No, I do want to crash this wave in. We see the jungler mid, so should be relatively safe to do this. Um, Now at this point I should probably just base, because it's a good base time. But I'm like feeling a little spicy because I'm tilted. Want to see if I can kill Nami, but took a pretty big risk there. If TF had flash, he could have killed me. But instead we get another lucky jungle gank. So like we had a huge jungle gap this game. Lee Sin just perma ganking, um, managed to evade the Wukong. But if not for the jungler bailing us out, this game would have just been a disaster. On the back of that level 1 trade, And, my misplay in the river, I think there's not too much reason to continue watching at this point, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, so game number 4, we have Tristana Thresh versus Ezreal Rakan. This lane is probably pretty contingent on, or dependent on Thresh laning hooks, because, I can't really jump. The Ezreal Rakan have so much mobility, it's not really safe to just jump on their faces. They can just dash or whatever. They have lots of ways to disengage. So it's really just a farming lane until Thresh lands hooks. He did land a lot of hooks in this lane. Let's see how it plays out. But I think this game we got roamed on quite a bit by the mid laner and the jungler. Got pretty tilted because of that. Made some bad plays. No, already at level 1 Thresh lands an excellent hook to the Ezreal. Get quite a lot of good damage down. Use the minion to block the Q there from the Ezreal. So pretty good trade. Ezreal loses a lot of health for that hook. Another hook onto Rakan. Just, this lane should pretty much be over at this point. Just let the wave push back out. Um, and, you know, they're either going to get zoned off CS or they're going to get hit by a hook. So, now this play was bad. Just, I'm trying to get stuff done because I'm tilted. I feel like, I have to 1v9 the game. So, I planned I was going to flash the Rakan W, but I flashed into tower range. And, yeah, there's no way that I could have killed Ezreal there. He has barrier. Just kind of I didn't even need to flash at all. I could just take the Rakan W. So instead, this lane is a lot more equalized now. I mean, they're still not doing great, but I'm down a flash, which is huge. So that's pretty much a grief play from me to just use flash, like trying to 1v9 or whatever. Thresh is just landing insane hooks this whole lane, so imagine if I had flash there. Could have finished off the Rakan, right? But because I wasted it, can't finish him. So yeah, I lose out on a kill just because I miss out that because I wasted flash early. Okay, but and I'm even down CS I think against the Ezreal somehow. I mean, which would be fine if we had burned a bunch of their summoners without using our own, but I wasted my flash, so um it's not really acceptable to be down CS and also be down or even in summoners. To be fair, they also did lose a wave of XP, but another crazy hook on Rakan. We do get the kill there. Um, So really just being carried by this Thresh right now. Not really doing too much on my own, like myself personally. It's all Thresh here. Now here, um, Yone just finishes pushing Orianna in to the tower. Yone's missing, Echo's missing. Echo just kills the Drake. We can see Yone's hovering bot side, so we should be kind of worried about a bot play. Um, Aurora's doing well on top side, so we should really just be chilling here. I think I am going to get baited though, because in a second, Thresh is going to land a hook. Notice Yone is still missing, Echo still missing after having just done the drag. This is a really incredible hook actually, but so I feel like I have to go in, um, but turns into a four-man bot, double kill. So just a lack of map awareness that I would normally have, I think. At this point, I've lost like 14 games in a row. I'm pinging my jungler and my mid laner, like, mid jungle diff, but the truth is I'm just tilted and not looking at the map. So, I mean, yes, it's true that probably mid laner should have pinged missing, but I mean, it's an Orianna versus Yone matchup. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. Mages are typically going to get trampled by Yone players, Yasuo players. Kind of just need to expect that, which I normally should, which I normally would do. Yone's missing again, by the way. Not sure if I'm even aware of that. Yeah, well, she's pinging now. And I'm spam pinging my mid laner, like danger ping, cause like just to flame her. Yep. And there's a Yone, and Echo is back. So not good. You can just see how tilted I am in the pings. Um, so not my greatest moment, but this is just, the point of this video was to show you guys what happens when you keep queuing. You just want to win that one game. You all know the feeling. Um, but at this point, regardless of the gameplay, I'm probably tilted my mid laner, my jungler out of their minds, and I've blown flash bot lane trying to do too much. I should be like way ahead right now with how my Thresh was playing early game, and with just a little bit more respect for the map. But instead, I'm just not in a position where I can carry. Do we get the kill here? Not sure. I ult the Ezreal away, like, I don't know why I did that. I should have just stayed out of tower range, auto him. He would have been much lower. I don't know. I think I was trying to ult him away from the tower or something, but I don't think there's really too much more to look at here. Let me see where's my next death? Normally I don't really need to, I don't die that much, so I don't get too much out of reviewing deaths, but I was just dying like crazy on this tilt spree that I went on. Yeah, so now we just kind of lose the 2v2 because I'm not as ahead as I should be. Um, and well, also if Thresh hooks for Khan, then Ezreal can get a lot of, Ezreal can just go on me. They can just go on me. At this stage of the game, you want to hook the AD, or you want to go into the ADC. I do get bailed out by my mid laner and jungler here, by the way, who I was flaming earlier. And they turn it into a 2-for-1. But, I mean, I just got lucky there. That was just very lucky. Don't think that there's too much more to look at here. I'm clearly very tilted, not playing well. Let's go on to the last game. Now, the last game, I mean, I had a Teemo support, so you can imagine how I felt in the champ select, just on a Teemo versus Ashe Nami. There's just, I mean, Teemo's pretty useless in a lane like this. We can just kind of get run down with the Nami movement speed and the Ashe arrows, the slow. So I'm already pretty tilted just into the champ select screen. Teemo dies at level 1. Oh yeah, so he dies at level 1 in the bush, and then he like types at me, I think. Yeah. So I'm already like, okay, you pick Teemo support, you die at level 1, and then you blame ADC. Okay. Yeah. So you probably have a pretty good. I'm already just like question mark pinging my Teemo. Like you can already imagine how this game is gonna go probably. Just a spoiler alert: my Teemo ends the game 2 kills, 15 deaths, 8 assists. um, partially, I mean, partially yes because he's a Teemo support, probably autofilled, but I probably tilted him by the way I was playing too. Let's just see how it plays out. We have to pretty much just give pressure to Ashe Nami at all times. Can never really go on them. Um, I mean, maybe at level 3 I can if we're both full health. Uh, with it all in. The team up blind does do something. Like it'll stop the Ashe from damaging me for a few seconds. Vaya's in the area. I waste my flash. I was expecting a Nami bubble. I think that's why I flashed so early, but she didn't actually use a bubble, so like complete waste of my summoner there. Um, Now everybody's blowing flash. We're not getting anything out of this. Nami just got away. I think I can kill the Ashe here, but she has barrier 2, and then Ivern shows up, and it's just a disaster now. Wasn't even thinking about accounting for the possibility enemy jungler could be there too. So just a big disaster. I get bubbled by Nami, run down the lane. I'm just trying to compensate, dive the tower, 1-for-1 with the support. Nami's gonna get, Ashe is gonna run down the Teemo here. So Ashe is now, I think, 5-0. Yep. So the game's essentially already over. Um, Horrible waste of the flash when my jungler came to gank. Horrible compensation to try and jump on the Ashe and make something happen after the play was already over, knowing that I didn't have enough damage to kill her and not even thinking about the enemy jungler. So I think that's already enough here. Yeah, I don't think there's too much left to review. My enemy laner is 5-0. So just to recap for you guys, um, if you're tilted, if you're mad, just go outside, take a walk, get some sunlight. Do not sit at your computer, keep spamming games. By the way, this loss streak was finally ended with a game where I played against a Yuumi jungle. So um, that's what it took for me to finally exit this loss streak. I did finally get my win, and then I lost the game right after. So um, hopefully lesson learned for everybody. Just, you're tilted, just take a break. Maybe 2 or 3 hours, or even just for the rest of the day, just do something else. Because this is not the way to get LP. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.